From policy to powerhouse. Why HR is now the beating heart of hospitality. I have been in hospitality long enough to remember when HR lived quietly in the background. We managed onboarding, logged grievances, updated policy folders, and sat on the sidelines of decisions. We were expected to provide a service, not shape strategy. Our value was measured in how efficiently we handled admin and how few complaints landed on the GM's desk. That version of HR no longer fits. In 2025, HR is right at the center of what makes a hotel thrive. From service excellence to team engagement, from digital transformation to financial well-being, HR is not just part of the business. HR is the business. A team powers every moment of the guest experience, and every team's performance is built on the culture, structure, and leadership we create. If we still see HR as a support function, we are missing the point. Hospitality has shifted. Guests are more demanding. Employees have more choices. Cost pressures are high. Teams are running lean. New joiners are seeking meaning, flexibility, inclusion, and opportunities for growth and development, and rightly so. HR cannot afford to be reactive. We must be proactive, courageous, and commercial. We must step into the space we have earned and lead with confidence. Here is what that looks like today and where we need to go next. Recruitment is now a reputation game. Posting a job ad and hoping for the best is not a strategy. Every business is hiring. Everyone claims to have a great team. So what makes yours stand out? Candidates today are not just looking for a job. They are seeking a career. They are seeking a workplace that feels safe, purposeful, and progressive. They want to work somewhere that reflects their values. And they are not afraid to ask hard questions. This is where the employer brand becomes more than a buzzword. It becomes a competitive advantage. And it starts with how we show up long before a vacancy is posted. Recruitment now needs to be designed as an experience. That means treating applicants with care, setting clear expectations, showing who you are, not who you think people want you to be, and being consistent from the first contact to the first shift. Strong recruitment also means long-term thinking. Schools, referrals, community relationships, social content that speaks directly to the kind of people you want to attract. A job board may help you find a candidate. A brand story gets you commitment. Training must build capability, not just compliance. Hospitality is emotional work. The technical side can be taught. The mindset needs to be built. Many training programs still focus on procedures and checklists. However, if your team does not know how to recover from a guest complaint, support a colleague under pressure, or maintain consistency during a peak shift, they are not well equipped to succeed. I have seen outstanding results when training becomes an integral part of the business's rhythm. Daily huddles, real-time coaching, peer feedback, shadowing, team reflection. These are not new ideas, but they work. Learning must move beyond induction. People need to see a future. They need development that aligns with their strengths and aspirations. They need managers who are comfortable having learning conversations, not just performance ones. Training that is tied to confidence and career progression not only improves service, but also enhances overall employee satisfaction. It improves retention, morale, and accountability. Flexibility is not an HR trend. It is a retention strategy. Hospitality will always need people on site. That does not mean flexibility is impossible. We can offer more input into rotas. We can allow shift swaps. We can explore compressed hours in the right roles. We can look at how jobs are designed and ask whether there is a better way to meet both team needs and operational goals. When people are consulted, they become more committed to the process. When they feel trusted, they perform better. When their lives are considered, they are more likely to stay. Flexibility is about maturity. It is about saying, "We see you and we are willing to work with you." That kind of culture is what people remember and recommend. Well-being is no longer optional. The emotional and physical demands of this industry are real. High pressure, unpredictable shifts, difficult guests and constant pace all take a toll. Add in the ongoing cost of living concerns, and it is no surprise that many hospitality workers feel overwhelmed. Well-being must be addressed systemically, not just symbolically. It cannot be a poster in the break room. It needs to be felt in how breaks are respected, how concerns are listened to, and how leaders behave under pressure. Support needs to be proactive. Early conversations, accessible resources, mental health training, practical help, small gestures that show care, large actions that show commitment. I have seen well-being drive commercial results. Fewer absences, better retention, fewer conflicts, higher guest satisfaction. If we think this is just an HR issue, we are missing the business case entirely. Technology is only useful when people understand it. Digital transformation is everywhere. New platforms for scheduling, learning, performance, recognition, and engagement are being introduced faster than ever. The promise is better data, smoother processes, and a stronger employee experience. The reality depends on adoption. I have watched great tech projects fall apart because no one explained the why. No one asked for feedback. No one supported the transition. Systems were dumped onto frontline teams with little regard for how they would use them. Tech and HR must be led by people. That means piloting first, listening often, training thoroughly, making sure the tool solves a real problem. Technology can help us do more with less, but it cannot replace culture. If your systems are strong, but your leadership is weak, people will still leave. What should HR focus on now? We are not short of priorities, but focus matters. The best HR leaders I know are crystal clear on what matters most, and they are relentless about getting it right. Here are 3 things I believe we must double down on. Develop managers. The employee experience hinges on the relationship between an individual and their line manager. Let's equip them to lead well, not just manage tasks. Get closer to the operation. We should be present, observant, and helpful. Not just policy gatekeepers, but business partners who add value every day. Center the human experience. People will stay where they feel seen, supported, and stretched. It is that simple and that hard. HR is not a sideline function. It is a commercial driver, a culture creator, a people champion. It is a force that shapes the service your guests receive, the pride your team feels, and the reputation your brand earns. This is not about being perfect. It is about being present, being bold, being helpful, and doing what needs to be done to make work better. Want more like this? Subscribe to 𝗕𝗏𝗴 for smart, straight-talking insight on people leadership in hospitality.